PwC's 29th Global CEO Survey UAE findings, released earlier this year, highlighted strong business confidence among UAE CEOs. Since then, the landscape has shifted considerably, opening new opportunities for leadership teams to innovate and grow.
91% of UAE CEOs were confident about domestic economic growth. This is up from 80% last year and well above the global average. We had 8 in 10 CEOs were confident about revenue growth in their respective companies over the next 3 years. And the UAE is now ranking among the top 10 destinations for investments internationally. But a lot has happened since. And the reason why we're gathering today is to get your perspectives as CEOs and leaders of various organizations on where do you see are the opportunities, where are the focus areas, and how do you believe organizations should be more resilient?
This year started with unprecedented events, obviously. Having said that, the UAE has always had a long-term vision. And on that basis, we've always overcome obstacles, making sure that we change impossible things into possible things and challenges into opportunities.
UAE is taking a leading position globally between nations on shaping AI and building AI from UAE to the world. And this gives us huge confidence because it's not just sentiment, it's coupled with investments and ability to execute, investments in infrastructure, ability to drive the right initiatives in skilling, in policy, and so on.
This partnership between the public sector, the government, and the private sector is not something common in other countries, even in mature countries and so on. This really helps us from all angles to really be resilient, at the same time be able to deliver on the day-to-day job that we have.
I mean, we've seen that the regulation and the innovation are going hand in hand here, right? This is very, very important, right? So comparing to other countries, we are seeing that regulations are slowing down the innovation. In UAE, the vision of the country showed us the way, right? You need to innovate. We are putting the regulations, the government is putting the necessary regulations to help you innovate. And this is really a big differentiator for the country here.
What has been quite clear to me, especially recently, is that the economy has been built in such a manner for all circumstances and for all different times, extremely resilient. And having discussed over the past couple of months with a number of CEOs across industry sectors, what we're seeing is that they do not look at challenges alone. They look at challenges and how to convert them into opportunities for growth, opportunities to advance their digital ambitions.
Before the conflict, AI diffusion in UAE was the highest in the world, 64%. In April, the new report is UAE right now leads the world above 70%. The first nation in the world to have AI diffusion, which means adults using AI across the UAE above 70 percentile. This tells you on how now the technology is beyond doubt. And because of the digital infrastructure, because of the human capability, and more importantly, because of the trust that the government enabled within the community and the market to use AI, there is a level of confidence in using AI.
Talking about data sovereignty used to be a compliance and just regulation topic discussion between the government and the different organizations. Today, it evolved a lot, right? It became a strategic and a business imperative for all organizations. Data sovereignty, the boards across the Gulf and in UAE specifically, boards are asking, where is my data is hosted? Is it secure enough? How can we ensure continuity in access to the data? How can we ensure that our data is available and used in a responsible way in the AI world?
There will be more investments going towards technology, building resilience, building agility as well as we go along. Things would slightly shift in transition to a new way of doing investments, but we haven't really seen those investments going elsewhere. And we expect the rest of the year to have recovery as well as more investments taking place.
So all our investments, even globally, if you look at what we will be announcing soon, what we announced a few weeks ago, the investment is all around AI. And this is not only technology, the people as well. So enabling people to be ready for this. So I would say it's a mix of both. One of the things that we are accelerating now is we are hiring, in fact, many AI experts locally to support the big demand we have in the country. At the same time, we are helping also the country and the customers. So we have different programs where we help youth, like the Young Professional Program, to be certified and they have the skills to the market. At the same time, also for our customers, we do specific programs training on top of the technology that we're delivering to them that will help all of this. So net, it's not about efficiency anymore. It's about how you make sure your organization is ready to compete with other competitors in the market, at the same time to be resilient and make sure you are ready when new things are happening.
So back in November, we announced an investment of $15.2 billion. That goes into 2029. Part of this invested already. Part of that is something that we're investing. This wasn't money that we're coming here to raise in UAE. This was money that we're coming here to invest because of deep conviction of the opportunity, of the leadership, of the vision, of the ability to execute in UAE and building AI from UAE to the world. If anything, in the past 90 days or 4 months, this has proved to be absolutely the right answer and the right capability. I think we've seen here a playbook for resilience that we're exporting from UAE to the world. That is something that we as Microsoft are working with the government and other entities to export to other places of the world because of the digital resilience and beyond. And that's what we see right now.
I think in all of the responses, one thing really resonated, which is human capital and talent.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to make this really sustainable. And what I've also heard and what we're seeing across various industries is that AI as a topic is moving from an experiment to something that organizations, governments are embracing, that they're looking at governing effectively, and most importantly, scaling in a way that creates shared, I would say, outcomes for humanity, but that one that benefits all key stakeholders.
So technically, if you have the business applications, you have the right data layer, and then you implement the right business AI platform, which should have the intelligence of the knowledge graph and open to integrate with any other data sources. This is where you can achieve the right strategy in your organization.
But more importantly, it's how public and private entities can come together to work in a framework that has very clear KPIs and deliver on this at scale. It takes a government that has strong capability to execute, vision, direction, but more importantly, very clear timeline of KPIs. And that's, I think, what we see, what binds some of these frameworks that we have. Some of our best initiatives in UAE over the years, right now in AI, but even before, has been in a public-private type of setup in this way. Some of our best partnerships in the region is in the same way because of the framework that brings the technology, the capability, the ability to execute, but more importantly, the policy and the trust factor that I was talking about. So it's so important for the entities to come together and talk openly about what we want to achieve and the time scale of it and put plans behind it with every entity knowing what they own.
When you host your data, when you have it in your platform, you have the AI tools integrated there at all levels, right? Starting from the infrastructure to the application and to the customer-facing tools that are being used. So really to scale AI, the trust in technology is there, but what we need more is the trust in the data and making sure that we bring the tools to the data, not the other way around.
Using it responsibly, increasing productivity, ensuring that we get the talent to be enabled in terms of using the technology is quite important, because it's not about launching it. It's about also enabling the employees to use it, encouraging them, giving them the required trainings as well to ensure that they're up to speed on new technology taking place. KYC would be enhanced. There will be multiple areas as well in terms of increasing the competitiveness as well as a financial institution. We remain highly regulated. However, the vision has changed in terms of how new technology can integrate as well, while continue to use data responsibly and using new technology responsibly to deliver to our client as well.
The government has also launched the largest backed in its federal history an upskilling program to upskill 80,000 of their employees on agentic AI, and there's a lot more to come. So I think the onus is on us in the private sector is to work with government and to support them to drive this innovation and this thinking. So what I heard today is that the outlook for growth in the UAE is exceptionally positive, and across the sectors, based on the number of discussions we're having with CEOs across the UAE, we're witnessing a fundamental shift. Not just steady progress, but a rapid acceleration. Our clients are moving beyond the traditional business as usual mindset and embracing what we now call business as acceleration. It was a pleasure to host the CEOs in today's roundtable, and I look forward to having more discussions with CEOs as we navigate the new environment.